Hello, everybody. How we doing today? Just quick little sound check. Wait to see if you guys can hear me right now. Awesome. All right. So, how's everybody doing? Doing good? All right. I am doing great as well. As always, let's get right into it. So, second week of June, and I've already shared the news for this week. Just in case you guys didn't see it, we have CPI, FOMC, PPI, and the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment all in the final part of the week. So, we'll have a chance to see Monday and Tuesday's trading before engaging with price. At least for myself, I do not trade before CPI, and I especially do not trade before FOMC. But if you've seen in how in my tweet, pretty much, I am going to be trading before FOMC right after CPI because I am expecting that first injection of volatility to form some sort of move that will probably be reversed in the afternoon with FOMC. But I am going to have one bullet available, and it will be not half risk, but low risk objective, pretty much. So what I am going to do is take profit earlier and try and get out as quick as possible, possibly leave a runner on break even. I just don't want to miss an opportunity from CPI's volatility injection. So that is what I'm going to be looking for. Sorry, I had chat closed for a sec. All right. So, starting very simply out of our monthly chart, what do we know? What do we see? Right? We just completed our move. Screen share. That would be a great idea, which I oftentimes seem to forget. All right. How about now? All right. So we've completed our internal to external move out of this bullish fair value gap in our monthly charts, right? And on NASDAQ, just because this one might be a little bit hard to see, we did have a fair value gap here. I'll just mark it out like this. So internal to external, we went and took out our March highs after an April retracement, which is in line with seasonality and which basically led to a lot of opportunity. But now that we've completed this move to the upside, and more specifically, we've took out previous monthly high, I am going to be looking for some sort of retracement into our internal range liquidity. The first thing that pops to mind, even though we haven't yet formed a starting point, we are looking at a monthly chart, it could take a while, is my monthly order block. But I want to add more context to this idea because, as I said, we have yet to form a swing point in my monthly chart, and that takes a while. If we dive down to a weekly, of course, if you guys remember, these were IPDA 40 lows, took this out with our April retracement lower before expanding higher. But what did we have in April? Well, we had an open, low, and then expansion to a high. Well, actually, we did not reach the high. But if you think in terms of AMD, power of 3, we see accumulation before manipulation lower and distribution higher. But this move is completed. And yes, I'm taking the long route to show you guys, but I really want to make a point of this. So our move is completed. We then decided to retrace into our bullish fair value gap, and last week respected it going higher. But if we look at our monthly candle, which you will see right here on ES, it is not showing up. Give me a second. Let's just do 0 offset. There we go. And my headphones are out of battery. Just give me a second. Not doing too good on the setup tonight. Sorry, guys. But now, all right, now I have sound. Sorry. But we've also completed this move, right? The move out of this weekly bullish fair value gap into our external range liquidity. And of course, call them all-time highs all you want. I just don't like using the term that much. But we just expanded to form a new high. I'm going to expect some retracement into internal range liquidity. But if we think about our monthly power of three, we opened and straight expanded to a high, taking out a key objective, meaning that if I see next week expanding lower, I'm going to think that this move is now complete and we're going to have a lower objective. Now, is that lower objective discount of this range, and more specifically, I have a balanced price range right here with my discount and efficiency, or are we going to be looking lower? Well, that's a story for another time, right? We're getting into the summer months, so we could expect some sort of retracement. Just so you guys have a little insight, if you look right here, you'll see that we actually, this is July. So July high retracement, and we can look at seasonality all we want, but usually you see the summer months be a little more bearish, and more specifically, just a little higher resistance. So we'll definitely be on the lookout for this, especially with a power of three. What could invalidate this? If this week we go and we form a low, and then I'll be looking at a daily chart more specifically. I would like to see this low taken out, and more specifically these lows from mid-May, the start of May, sorry. And that could form more SMT on NASDAQ and ES. But again, we already have our SMT, confirming that this is an important swing point. And yes, of course, we had a short-term conclusion off of that, but now that we see this, we could still come and target this from our monthly candle. Let me just adjust this offset. Should be 7, not 78, and 12. I'm going to get it. All right, 15. There we go. So this is our monthly candle, by the way. If you guys are confused, this is our weekly candle, which just opened very recently. Just to go again over what I was thinking, is that I don't want, but I believe that if we flip this monthly opening this week, and more specifically, we expand through it, so this open of our monthly candle is what I'm going to be concentrating on. If we flip this, I'm not expecting us to revisit these highs for a while, even though there is no SMT at this level. But one thing to take into account is how we closed through this. We showed displacement through on one and did not on the other, on ES. Let me just mark them out the same so it doesn't get too confusing. But we did not close through on ES. So that is one type of divergence, showing you that ES is weaker, which we already knew through the SMT. So again, Monday and Tuesday will definitely be a defining factors for me in terms of weekly profile, and more specifically weekly power of three. But if we expand lower this week, and more specifically through our monthly opens, I'm going to be looking for weekly expansion lower and a continuation. So even if that happens before CPI, before FOMC, I'm going to be looking for confirmation for shorts. Since I'm not trading tomorrow or Tuesday, I'm taking it easy and not trying to come to too many conclusions, because I want to see higher prices. But if I think power of three, I don't believe this low is strong enough to push us again towards further all-time highs. But when price is not confusing, but I would say not as clear as it always can, right? I would like to see a continuation higher, but now with power of three telling me that what makes more sense and what offers the most opportunity is to go lower. That's what I'm talking about. Well, I go to DXY and get confirmation. So let me just put this on DXY and let's have a look at our daily chart. Looking for lower prices, right? That's been our analysis. Well, that has been my analysis for a while. And we did take out this liquidity and now expanded higher very aggressively with NFP. So how can we come to conclusions? Well, let's zoom in. Let's look. And I'll start again on a monthly chart. Invalidated this fair value gap and closing the month of May, respecting it. So could be looking for an expansion of internal to external, and that would be higher. That would mean higher prices for DXY. And if we dive lower into our weekly chart, we have confusing ideas, because now what did we do? Well, we inverted this fair value gap and push lower, which if you guys were here during those analysis, I remember we looked at DXY. That was our main bias. We were somewhere in here early in May. That was our main bias to look for lower prices. But now we retrace into a discount order block, forming a reversal pattern. So expanding past this high would form a market structure shift and confirm any type of idea that would look at higher prices. And not this as an objective, but if we expand through this level right here, and I'm again talking early week, I'm definitely going to be bullish on DXY, which then means it confirms the idea that we would look for lower prices on indices. I am not confident enough yet on CL, on oral, to be sharing my analysis, but I am definitely going to be concentrating my trading on that if I don't see a clear expansion with CPI. So basically, just to go back over it again, because I understand it can be a little scattered, I will definitely do a midweek analysis this week. So Tuesday night, I'll post the event right after this. After seeing Monday and Tuesday's trading, I'll host another call just like this so we can get a clearer picture of what's going on. Because for now, I have two possible outcomes, right? Expand lower, inverting this gap, closing below this level, and looking for lower prices, targeting this SMT, and expecting more SMT to be formed. So possibly NASDAQ wouldn't even reach this low while ES would, right? That is idea number one, but it is the least likely in my mind. Since we closed through this, we formed a very large gap. We could also anticipate a little retracement lower, possibly a retest of this level into this order block before further expansion higher. So a deep retracement for a very aggressive end of week expansion higher. That is another possibility, which again, middle of the week, we will look again with further insight. Just in case you guys won't be there, we are only looking for weekly power of three, which means best case scenario, Monday accumulates. If Monday does not accumulate, Tuesday will consolidate, accumulate, and it will be very, how can I say, high resistance for the rest of the week, even taking into account the news. So I want to see Monday consolidate. I want, best case scenario, I want to see Tuesday expand lower so that we can have a CPI that manipulates lower through an expansion with the FOMC reversal to go to higher prices. That is where I would see the best setups, if I can say it like that, the most opportunity. And more specifically, I believe that that is the most probable outcome. I am, although, going to be looking for a daily close below our monthly level, which is our monthly opening price, because that would entice me to look for shorts followed by a retracement. Following a retracement, sorry, not followed by a retracement. So just to give you guys a little deeper insight, what I really want to see is something like this for this week. It is a lot of movement, and if you look at my drawings, which are proportional, we're looking at 500 handles, 500 handle move into, if we expand past this high, I'm going to be looking for close to 20,000, definitely. 20,000 is far, never mind. Probably closer to 15.5. We could see a large expansion, but that's not the type of things you'd expect in the June months, especially after a low resistance liquidity run like this, followed by one simple retracement. I'm definitely going to be on the lookout for something like this. 1,500 handles for the complete week would be an interesting, just filled with opportunity again. Sorry, repeating my words here. But the other possible outcome is whether we see a manipulation higher taking previous week's high, or just trade expansion lower, see a close below this, followed by a pretty aggressive retracement and a continuation. That this pattern, you'll see it form a lot of the times. We'll see inducement followed by heavy retracement before a very large expansion. FOMC and CPI on the same weeks just like to do something like that. So enough rambling about the same simple idea. I'm going to be looking for one of these two things, and we'll have more insight on Tuesday. night. Sorry. So on Tuesday night, we'll definitely be looking into it because I think that you guys deserve a better outlook than this. And right now, for me, price is not clear. So I'm going to wait, let it tell me where it's going, and then engage with price following news. Do you guys have any questions about this? Even though I know there are not a lot of conclusions to come from with this, so many possibilities, but definitely middle of the week, midweek analysis will give us more insight. I'm not seeing anybody talk in chat at the moment. So I'm guessing that it's pretty simple and you guys will be waiting for the midweek analysis, right? All right. All right. Well, I'll be posting the event in a second here. It will be added. Make sure to click on interested so that you get notified when we start. And I guess I'll see you guys Tuesday afternoon. All right. Well, you guys have a great night. See you soon.